Mr. President, last Friday, President Trump signed into law our historic legislation to deliver safety and prosperity for the American people. Every Democrat in this chamber voted against it. So once again, Democrats do what they do. They turn to the courts to try to undo what Congress has done. This time, it's about the government funding of Planned Parenthood. Now, we just heard the minority leader come to the floor and say, quote, "People want fair judges who will uphold the law." By Monday afternoon, Democrats have filed a lawsuit in Boston, Massachusetts, challenging the very law that was just signed on the 4th of July. Now, I've spoken about this Massachusetts District Court in the past. Look, this is one of the Democrats' favorite venues when they want to obstruct the law of the land. That's because 11 of the 13 judges were appointed by Democrat presidents. Well, by Monday evening, an unelected district court judge appointed by President Obama granted a temporary injunction. There they go again, another temporary injunction blocking the law of the land. The judge did not issue a legal opinion or explain her decision. Instead, this one lone judge, who has a history of radical rulings and partisan activism from the bench, halted the duly enacted law. As a result, millions of taxpayer dollars could be forced to be spent. This is money that taxpayers will never be able to recover. One judge, one district, trying to dictate and derail national policy and a national law. This is another example of radicals in robes undermining the elected branches of our government. As law professor Elizabeth Foley recently wrote in the Wall Street Journal, the separation of powers, she said, is, quote, under assault by rogue judges claiming national power. Over 40 nationwide injunctions have been filed against the Trump administration in the first 6 months. 35 of them were issued by district courts in just 4 states in the District of Columbia: California, Massachusetts, Maryland, and Washington State. This is nearly triple the number of injunctions that President Biden faced his entire 4 years in office. But Democrats continue to use the courts to try to reverse President Trump's popular policies. Democrats aren't seeking an unbiased review. They are using the courts as a political tool. It's not how the Constitution is supposed to work. Even Supreme Court Justice Elena Kagan, an Obama appointee, has opposed nationwide injunctions. In 2022, Justice Kagan said, quote, "It just can't be right that one district judge can stop a nationwide policy in its tracks and leave it stopped for the years it takes to go through the normal process." I agree with Justice Kagan. The Supreme Court has recently and repeatedly taken steps to rein in these radical judges. The Supreme Court has overturned 11 injunctions against the administration just since January. That includes Tuesday's 8-1 order in the case of Trump versus the American Federation of Government Employees. This abuse of the courts needs to end. That's why I support the Judicial Relief Clarification Act. This legislation was written by Chairman of the Judiciary Committee, Chuck Grassley of Iowa. His legislation would limit lower courts from using sweeping injunctions to block national policies. Additionally, the Senate must move quickly to confirm judges who apply the laws as written, not judges who try to legislate from the bench. Later today, we're going to begin the process of confirming President Trump's first judicial nominee this term. It is for President Trump's nominee to serve on the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals. Her name is Ms. Whitney Hermendorfer. She is smart, she's tough, she's ready to serve. She has the full backing of her home state senators, Senator Blackburn and Senator Hagerty of Tennessee. She also has the support of the chairman of the Judiciary Committee, Senator Grassley. Mr. President, the Constitution is clear. Congress controls federal spending. The power of purse belongs to Congress, doesn't belong to unelected district court judges with a gavel and a grudge. The American people deserve better. Enough is enough. It's time to restore constitutional order. It's time to rein in rogue judges. It's time to confirm judges who respect the rule of law. Thank you, Mr. President. I yield the floor. Suggest the app. And Mr. President, I also ask unanimous consent to waive the mandatory quorum calls with respect to the Gould and Hermendorfer nominations.
Without objection.
Thank you, Mr. President. I yield the floor. Suggest the absence of a quorum.